Okay, hello guys and welcome back to Chris Flies Planes. Chris here of course, and today we are taking part 2 of our Buffalo Airlines flight from Anchorage in Alaska up to Deadhorse at Prudhoe Bay. So that is our plan today. I think, let's have a look at the flight planner very quickly. Navigation log, here we go. So our distance is going to be 542 nautical miles. Our estimated time en route is going to be 3.5 hours, though of course I will be reducing that down to about 25 minutes to half an hour for you guys, because who wants to sit and watch me fly a plane for 3.5 hours? And honestly, I would struggle to find things to say. If you watched the last message, you will know that we went through from cold and dark, did all our startup checks, and taxied onto our runway here in Anchorage, Alaska. Papa Alpha November Charlie, Stevens Anchorage International Airport. And let's jump into the cockpit here and let's get going. So takeoff in this plane is exceptionally challenging. As you can see, our visuals are not great out of the cockpit, and until our nose comes down, our tail comes up, we're not going to be able to see. So what we're going to do, a trick that I found useful, is just to pick a cloud in the sky and keep it static in terms of where it is in the windshield, and hopefully we'll keep lined up just long enough that we can then see what we're doing. So we are going to get going here. As soon as we are up in the air, we're going to reduce our power down to a manifold pressure. You can see just here on the screen. We're going to reduce our power down to a manifold pressure of about 45 initially, and then down to 35 once we pass 1,000 feet. And we're going to be keeping our revolutions, our RPMs, around 2,300. So let's get going here. So we're going to start off by slowly advancing up to full power. And again, we're going to keep a cloud lined up on our windshield, just try and keep ourselves level. A little bit of forward sticks, just going to help the nose to come down that little bit sooner and give us that nice visual on the centre line on the runway. We're a little bit off to the left here. We're going to rotate around here, around 130 knots is fine for me. Once we have our rate of climb, we're going to stick our gear up, and we are going to reduce power down to about 45, as I said, and we're going to reduce our props very quickly. We're going to reduce our props down to probably around 2,400 initially. We're going to keep climbing. Our aim is to be climbing at around 110 knots. As you can see, we're a little bit faster than that, so we're going to nose up a little bit more. And as we climb here, we're just going to start banking her over into a turn. And we're going to hold her around here until we line up. I do have a map running on my other computer actually, with a flight plan on it. So I'm not flying blind, though I believe that yellow navigation arrow just below our airspeed indicator is accurate. We have lost our speed indicator here because I haven't turned pitot heats on. So just going to jump into the right cockpit here, and we're going to click those on. While we're there, we're going to go into our roof panel, make sure our anti-ice is on, which it is. Let's jump back into the virtual cockpit here. Just get everything back under control here, get our nose down, keep our speed up. We don't want to be stalling her. Yeah, because it's cold outside, we do need our pitot heating and our anti-ice on, of course. The outside air temperature is currently -6 degrees. And obviously as we head up to our cruising altitude of 8,000 feet, that is going to get somewhat colder. So we're just going to keep her on her turn here, keep her on this nice easy climb. Let's look outside the plane, make sure we're configured correctly. It all looks pretty fantastic to me. So passing about 3,300 feet now. Nose up a little bit more. Okay, I'm just going to turn a little bit harder just to intercept our course a little bit quick here. And roll ourselves out of this turn. And maintain this climb. Let's get our nose up a little bit more. Let's reduce our power. We're going to be reducing it down to around 35 on the manifold pressure. Keeping those props up. Going to lean down to auto rich. Keep our nose up here. Let's get our speed down a little bit. Not that much. Okay, passing about 5,300 feet now. As I said, we're going to be climbing up to 8,000 feet for our cruise altitude. And then we're going to start our flight up and over Alaska here. Okay, looks like we're about nicely trimmed into our climb here, guys. Which is of course great news. Maybe even just be climbing a little bit faster here. That looks probably pretty good to me. Make sure we're holding our speed here nicely. Just trim it down a little bit here. Okay, outside air temperature has now dropped 14 degrees C, which is passing, just about to pass, sorry, 7,000 feet. We're on a heading of about 326 degrees, and our current ground speed is 132 knots. Very soon, it looks like we will be lining up with our flight plan as we meet our cruise altitude, which is pretty perfect. I'm very happy with that takeoff. Aside from a little issue with the pitos and the anti-ice, it did feel like a very clean takeoff. And stop, just bringing our power down here. As we're approaching our cruising altitude of 8,000 feet. We're about to fly over Goose Bay State Game Reserve, Refuge. Calling animals game, then referring to it as a refuge, it seems a little bit odd to me. Either a game, which certainly indicates some element of shooting, or it's a refuge. Who knows? Okay. A little bit more to go. Let's get that power up just a little bit. Passing 850 here, 7,850, 7,900. This thing does fly massively nose up. Okay, we are going to lock in our cruise control for altitude about there. We're currently at 7976 feet, which is close enough for me. We're flying a heading of 337, which is pretty great at the moment. I reckon probably a heading of around 345. We're very close to intercepting our flight plan here. If we just look outside, this is just flying over Goose Bay State Refuge, just below us here. You can see Goose Bay itself. Off to our right hand side, we would if it wasn't obscured by cloud. A number of lakes and stuff just in front of us here. A couple of landing strips just off to our left hand side here. Let's jump back in the aircraft, make sure everything is nicely configured and holding its altitude. We certainly are holding our altitude very nicely here. And as soon as we pass through, or we line up, sorry, with our flight plan here, I'm going to stick on our final stage. I don't think nav is working. Maybe it is. Let's give it a go. See what it does. Doesn't really seem to be changing my heading. I'd expect it to be rolling us ever so slightly to the right now. Okay, we're going to switch on to our heading. Let's just stick nav on again and see if that holds us to our nav. Not sure which one this is holding us to currently. Okay, so it looks like it's trying to take us to our heading point, which is fine. We'll just get lined back over here. A bit heavy clouds. That looks pretty good to me. Okay guys, well as always, I'm not going to make you sit here and hang around whilst we are in our cruise, so I'm going to leave you to some nice visuals, some nice music, and I'll join you again, hopefully for our starting descent down to Deadhorse Airport in Prudhoe Bay, unless there's any major issues or emergencies. Thank you very much guys, and I will see you in a couple of minutes. Hey, hello guys and welcome back. We are just about 20 nautical miles out now from Prudhoe Bay, Deadhorse International Airport. So we are actually going to go into our ATC here. And we are going to tune Deadhorse traffic. And select runway for landing. So let's land on not sure what the active runway is right now. Can I just dip out again? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the ATIS quickly, guys. Okay, so we are going to be landing on runway 4, so let's just tune that and announce that on the traffic. Not that it makes any shade of difference. Runway 4. We're going to be doing a full stop landing. Let's just kill our autopilot. We're going to reduce our power right down. Alright, no wonder it was going a bit slow. We had it on a slow simulation rate there. I was wondering why it was responding quite so weirdly. Okay. This is my first time at landing this plane, guys, so you're going to have to bear with me here. Okay, I cannot see where we're going to be landing, but we're going to be heading down to probably around 2,500 feet. I imagine is the pattern altitude, just passing 5,600 at the minute. We are probably a little bit off to the right here. So I hope you enjoyed the little cinematic there, guys. Certainly some beautiful terrain up around here. 8,000 feet definitely didn't feel high enough for some of those mountain ranges, but there we go. Just going to keep her descending down here, just keeping an eye on our speed. We're at about 149 knots at the minute. Currently on idle throttle as we see her down. Looks like our stall speed is going to be probably somewhere around 65, 70 knots once we've got our gear down and our flaps down. So that gives us a kind of rough speed to be aiming for here. For when our wheels touch down, of course. Okay, passing through 4,000 feet now. I'm not seeing the airfield quite yet. I don't doubt we will fairly quickly here, guys. Trying to fix something very quickly. Try and not stall her out here. I do have a moving map running on my other computer, but it doesn't seem to currently be working. Which is perfect, just in time for the landing here. We're about 6 nautical out, so one would hope to be seeing the airport fairly imminently. Passing down through 3,000 feet, maintaining our speed nicely. Well, currently at altitude, just going to be holding this where we can and just seeing if we can spot our landing area here. Oh, looks like we could be looking the wrong way here. Just jump out into the right seat quickly. There she is. Let's get ourselves back into our actual seat here. Going to aim to put ourselves into a pattern over this airfield. A lower stage of flaps here. Keeping a close eye on our speed, keeping a close eye on our altitude. And let's Just going to take a nice easy turn here, guys, all the way around to heading of 22. Ooh, it's getting very bumpy here. Just trying to keep our altitude. We're currently down at around 1500. Mind a little bit more. Mark our intended heading here just to increase our accuracy somewhat. Just keep working on getting our altitude back up. Okay, that's going to put us on a heading of around 22. Let's try and put us on our final turn here. Juggle a few things here at once, guys. Trying to keep our altitude around the 2000 mark if possible. Trying to keep our speed up. I'm just trying to hold this turn nice and steady, around to 4 degrees. Just keep that nose up. Well, that didn't work at all. Okay, so we're going to put her over into a nice tight turn here. One big final circle. Reduce our speed down. This time, hopefully, we should be pretty much lined up here. I'm not entirely sure why we overshot quite so hard on that turn. should be flying pretty much dead away from it now. Alright, we are exceptionally low here. Problem with this plane is the nose up angle just feels so nose up. Can't even see the runway. Oh, we've got quite a nice crosswind here as well. Wrestling around. Okay, well guys, by some small miracle we managed to put this beautiful plane down at Prudhoe Bay, Deadhorse International Airport, Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. It was not a pretty landing, but it was a landing. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Let me know how you find this plane if you want to give it a go. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Fly safe.